It has been about 3.5 years since I have talked about a Marvel film here on YouTube, and I'm back today to talk about Thunderbolts, the latest film from Marvel Studios, and director Jake Schreier. Apologies if I am mispronouncing that last name. And I had the privilege of seeing this movie a week ago at the early IMAX fan screenings, and I'm now realizing how quickly those sold out. I was very fortunate to get into one because I just happened to be checking my email the second that Fandango email hit my inbox, and immediately, without even looking at the date or anything, I went to see if my city was on the list, and sure enough, it was. So I felt very fortunate, given that the screening sold out in about 10 minutes, to have found my way into one. And this movie is a lot of fun. I'm not going to bury the lead here. Let's just jump on over to IMDb to get the synopsis. After finding themselves ensnared in a death trap, an unconventional team of anti-heroes must embark on a dangerous mission that will force them to confront the darkest corners of their pasts. And going into this movie, it felt like the marketing had really been showing only a few key pieces from the film, and I have to say, I kind of get it after seeing the movie, and I'm not going to talk about that too much because this is a spoiler-free review. I am seeing the film again the Thursday before it comes out, and so there will be a spoiler discussion that weekend. But for now, this review will be spoiler-free, so I don't want to talk too much about why I think the way the marketing ended up playing out and sort of the confusion that people had with the lack of footage from other moments from the film. I'm going to refrain from talking about that for now, but I will say once you see the film, I think you will understand as well. And like I said, had a lot of fun with this movie going into it. Obviously, there is a lot of skepticism going around with each Marvel project that comes out, whether it will be a hit or a miss. But within, I'd say, about 30 minutes of this movie, and the way that I was reacting towards it and the way that the audience was reacting towards it, I quickly found myself almost taking a sigh of relief knowing that this movie would, if it stayed the course, and it did, actually be a very, very not only entertaining Marvel film, but also just an entertaining movie in general. So it felt really good to sit in a packed, sold-out IMAX theater and enjoy a Marvel movie again with an audience. It really felt reminiscent of the stretch of films that we had for so many years. So again, this is a non-spoiler discussion of the film, so let's just go ahead and dive in here and talk about the movie a little bit. I have kind of started adapting this thing with my reviews where I just kind of don't do so much of a formal review, just kind of discuss the things that I enjoyed about the movie. So I'm trying this new style here. As far as the team goes, this movie is definitely anchored by Florence Pugh. She is the center of this movie and the core of the more emotional story that unravels as the story progresses, and she does such a great job bringing depth and understanding and humanity to Yelena. You know, we've seen this character as a supporting member in several projects, but we haven't really gotten the opportunity to really dive into who Yelena is as a character and understand her past, and we really start to peel back the layers of this character. And as you do, you learn more, and Florence is really able to bring the empathy and the emotional weight that this character is carrying around with her. It was a really impressive performance. Everybody in this ensemble know their roles, and they're all great in them. But Florence Pugh, I found myself constantly almost being in awe of the caliber of performance that we're seeing from her in this film. I really was not expecting it, and I suppose I should have, because she's good in everything she's in, but I was just taken aback by the complexity that the movie has towards Yelena. Lewis Pullman, who is yet again playing a character named Bob within a few year time frame. That's not something you see all the time. Lewis Pullman is a really great addition to the MCU. I liked him a lot in Top Gun Maverick, and when they announced that he'd be in here, I was very interested to see what he would bring to the movie. And he brings, kind of like Florence Pugh, some complexity to his character, and also a lot of sympathy. Again, as the story kind of unfolds, you learn more about Bob and his backstory and what led him to do what he did. I found it all very interesting. You sympathize with him, you fear him, obviously, because Lewis Pullman is also, this is not a spoiler, is playing Sentry. And so it doesn't take long for you to sympathize with this character, and then immediately you're kind of scared of him. And then that sympathy comes back. And so he just brings a lot of really important understanding and sympathy to his character that is required for the audience to really kind of go on this journey with him. Everybody else is having a lot of fun. It was really great to see Sebastian Stan play with this ensemble and kind of have a bigger role, because it's felt like in recent memory he really just hasn't been given as much to do in the MCU as he did in previous phases. So it was really good to kind of see him at the, not necessarily the front of a team again, but really getting to do a lot more here. And so that was a lot of fun. David Harbour, who I enjoyed a lot in Black Widow. I thought he was really funny, but also really brought a lot of heart to his character. He does that again here. The humor that he is given, the quips, are dialed up even more from what they were in Black Widow, but so is his heart. The heart that his character has is so genuine, and it was really, he is in a way the beating heart of this ensemble. When maybe people have given up, David Harbour continues to bring both the laugh out loud humor and the really heartfelt sentiment to Red Guardian. And so everybody kind of complements each other really well. Wyatt Russell as John Walker was great. I thought he was really funny. It's just a really well written ensemble where everybody has their role. Everybody is given something to do. They bounce off of each other well. They work well together. I was just really impressed at this ensemble in the movie. Now, as far as the action goes, there isn't as much as you might expect from an MCU movie. There are multiple action set pieces, and they are good. They're fun. There's jokes flying, as well as bullets and explosions. They're a lot of fun, which is something that I feel like we haven't seen in a while in an MCU film, and it felt grounded. A couple of them have kind of a bit of grit to them. They are clearly focusing a lot on practical effects, and that shows a lot. And so I found the action that there is here a lot of fun, and I was enjoying a lot of the non-action sequences with this ensemble enough to where I didn't need more action in this movie, because the characters were enough for me to continue enjoying the movie. But the action is there. It's fun. It's fast. It, like I said, is practical, which is something that I really, really have missed in the past couple films. And so I thought it was a lot of fun. I really did. If you're expecting nonstop action, you're not going to get that here. But I think what you get with the characters in between these action sequences will make up for it. And like I said earlier, Red Guardian has a lot of humor here. Everybody kind of does. It's really Red Guardian and John Walker who get a lot of the quippy one-liners here, but the banter between the whole team works really, really well. I found myself laughing out loud a lot more than I had expected going into the movie, but it was all around one of the funnier MCU projects in a while. There are a couple running jokes that I thought might have kind of run out of steam, but the audience was still laughing along with them pretty heavily. So I think that was just something that might not have worked as well with me, but I still found it to be a pretty dang funny movie. Now, as you've probably heard in the social reactions, this is more of a emotional story that goes to some more mature and complex areas, and it's done in a way that I wasn't expecting. Again, I'm not going to go into spoilers here in this review, but I definitely will in my spoiler discussion, because the effect it had on me and the effect it had on an audience was something that I really, like I said, was not expecting here. It really, I mean, I could, if somebody told me they got choked up in this movie, I would honestly, I could see it, and I almost did myself. So it really does pack an emotional punch. It has a lot to say on loneliness, belonging, what it means to be a hero, making peace and accepting your past. There's just a lot of themes that are interwoven with these superheroes that I found really interesting, and something that we haven't really seen much of in the MCU. The whole idea of these heroes that we see, as anti-heroes, being put on pedestals for the work that they do, but also being damaged individuals with these mental health issues. I thought it was a very appropriate way to highlight mental health in an MCU film, something that we, like I said, have not really seen much of so far. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how important it is to watch this movie with an audience. I think we all kind of need that, hot off the heels of Ryan Coogler's Sinners, which is a movie that I absolutely loved. It will definitely be one of my favorite movies of the year. Watching that with a packed audience was great, but watching this one will really remind you why you do stick with the MCU through the highs and through the lows, because you do get these special moments like this movie here that do remind you of the greatness that this cinematic universe is capable of, despite the ups and the downs. It was funny, it was shocking, the action was great, and the audience investment in the story and the characters really is it really does show just how unique and grounded this movie is. I think it's a great way to kind of enter this next stage of the MCU as we head into Doomsday and Secret Wars. It was really nice having a more grounded, genuine, slightly more dark and mature Marvel movie that also does have that popcorn fun that we are used to. So, have you seen Thunderbolts yet? Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the film. If you have, no spoilers. If you're watching this review after you've seen the movie, please do not put spoilers here. That will be for the spoiler discussion that I will hopefully post on Saturday or Sunday of the opening weekend of the film. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like all the content, film-related content that I do here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.